Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com, and I'm here for the 2016 Sheru Classic Dubai preview. That's right, we got the first annual Sheru Classic in Dubai coming up this weekend. Pretty exciting lineup considering it's the end of the year. You got to remember, these guys have been dieting all year round. They got off the Olympia. They did this long extended, European tour. A lot of guys just packed it in because, their bodies are just shot. They don't want to travel anymore. It's a great show, but you know what? Sometimes when these shows come at the end of the year, guys are just not in the right mindset. Because remember, a lot of these guys are trying to rest up because they're going to start their preparations for the Arnold Classic that's coming up in March. And that's sooner than you think. Also, the holidays. We're here at Thanksgiving. Obviously, a lot of guys want to eat, but there's a couple stalwarts that have not stopped. And one of those guys is Roelly Winkler, which is absolutely unbelievable when you think about the year he's had. This guy has not stopped competing. He almost beat Dexter Jackson at the New York Pro. A lot of people, myself included, thought that he should have gotten a nod there. He continued on competing. He went to the Arnold South Africa. He was second behind Justin Compton there. He went to the Olympia. He looked fantastic. He placed top sixth and went on to that Grand Prix tour, and he was terrific there. And I think I believe he placed second at the. No, he didn't get the second. He was fifth at the Arnold Europe. So Roelly has been is probably more consistent this year than we've ever seen him before. He's the freakiest guy in the lineup as far as size, conditioning, and just proportion go. And he's got to be considered the favorite here because he's got the only top 6 Olympia placing in this lineup. If he comes in anything other than what we normally see from him, I think he's going to win this show easily. Obviously, if he comes in fat or bloated, he could leave the door open to a couple of these upcoming guys. But I don't think that Roelly Winkler has anything to worry about in this lineup. He comes in consistently as he has the rest of the year. This is an easy win for Roelly. He's right in the area, obviously in Dubai now. He's staying in Kuwait at Oxygen Gym there, so this is not a long flight for him. This is almost considered his home turf now. So I think Roelly Winkler comes in and dominates. But you got to remember, there's upcoming guys in this lineup. Petar Klancir is one of the guys who has impressed me more possibly than anyone else this year. He might be the rookie of the year. Even though he didn't win any pro shows, he was very impressive on that European tour. He placed 8th in Prague. He was 8th at the Arnold Europe. And he placed 2nd at that Nordic Pro. Or third at the Nordic Pro, 3rd place at the Nordic Pro, which set him into a position for next year of really doing some serious damage. Now, do I think he's going to win here in Dubai? Probably not because of Roelly Winkler, but he certainly has a very good shot at taking second here, which would put him in even a better position. A lot of people, he kind of reminds me of what Josh Lenardowitz did at the end of last year, coming into those last 2 shows, San Marino, the Ferrigno Legacy Classic, and winning. Can Klancir win here? I don't know, but if Roelly doesn't show up in San Marino the week after, which is where we'll be, Johnny and I will be there next week, I think that he possibly could win there. So we got to look out for Klancir in this lineup. He's got better shape than Roelly, not as big, but conditioning is right up there with him. I think he'll push Roelly a little bit, but I don't think he'll be able to overcome the size differential and the freak factor of Roelly Winkler. Another guy to look out for in this lineup, I guess, would have to be Michael Lockett, who is the biggest enigma in bodybuilding. I remember interviewing him when he won the Team Universe, all naturally. He went on the following year. He turned down his pro card. He went on the following year to win the Junior Nationals, then disappeared for maybe over 5 years until he came back and won that North American. And now he's been placing, in pro shows. He was second at 2 pro shows this year, the Golden State and Chicago Pro. And I have to believe that Lockett is a wild card here. No one gets harder than Lockett in the lineup. Lockett walks around 365 days a year with striated glutes. No one can put size on faster than Lockett. He's made improvements this season that are mind-boggling, and he has been competing the whole year long. So it seems like Lockett actually makes better gains when he's actually prepping for a contest. If he even preps, who the hell knows? 2 weeks he gets in shape. So Lockett has got to be a serious wild card here. He could beat Klancir very easily. I don't think he could take out Winkler because I think Winkler's got more firepower than Lockett, but I think Lockett could certainly wrap up a second place here if Klancir is a little bit off. Now, we have two other wild cards that we don't know how they could do. But Jeff Beckham has got to be considered a threat in this lineup because Jeff Beckham's got shape. He proved to us he can get in condition for the first time in his career. We saw him a couple weeks ago. I forget what show that was at. Johnny's got a picture up there. And he was ripped. So I was impressed that he brought conditioning to the table. Now the question is, can he bring fullness and conditioning on the same stage at the same time? And once again, it's a long trip to Dubai. It's going to be a lot harder for him to hold his conditioning. He is definitely a dark horse, okay? And if you're a betting man and you like to bet on high odds, you throw your money on Beckham because Beckham could come in with the shape he's got, with the posing potential he's got. The European judges love that beautiful posing. Beckham will definitely dazzle the crowd, that's for sure. I'm predicting a possible top 3 here for Beckham this weekend. Certainly a top 5. And then, of course, the last wild card, and I don't know if you call him a wild card, I say dark horse more so, is Orton, Steve Orton. He placed 6th at that Arnold Australia and shocked a lot of people. He was a NABA guy who switched over to the IFBB, got his pro card, and he's been very dangerous. If you look at his physique in the lineup, he stacks up against these guys well. He's got size, he's got conditioning, he's got presentation. He could do damage in this lineup, and I think that he might make a name for himself. I think it's a good move for him, assuming he was able to maintain his conditioning throughout the year after competing earlier this year. I think he purposely set himself up almost like Josh Lenardowitz did last year, and this guy's coming out of Australia too, to try to dominate these last 2 shows of the season here and in San Marino. So can he do it? I don't know. Let's see. But it's exciting to know that there is some guys in the lineup that might have the potential to do some serious damage. Now, there's other guys in the lineup as well. Khalid Al-Musawi is in the lineup. Thomas Kaspar from the Czech Republic is going to be in the lineup. Shabunia from Belarus will be in there, and Verinder Singh from India. And Gerald Williams from the United States. So I think that it's a nice lineup to get this late in the year. I think the Sheru Classic Dubai will be a success. I want to thank my friend Sheru for putting that on, obviously, and bringing that show to Dubai. I don't know why they don't have an Olympia in Dubai. I mean, that's like the greatest. That's like I call it the Las Vegas of the Middle East. And everyone loves to go to Dubai. They have direct flights now to Dubai. So I think it's going to be a great show. And once again, that'll be followed up next week, the week after, I should say, by the San Marino Pro. And once again, RX Muscle will be there in full force. Johnny Styles and I will be out there with my good friend John Enrico Pica, who's running the show, will be out there. I'll be at the Expo, at the Species Nutrition booth. So this weekend, however, we're going to focus on Sheru Classic Dubai. Good luck to all the competitors out there. Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com.